Good evening, here is top news and newsletter starting with headlines. President al-Assad solution demands serious pressure on terrorism backers. Time to prepare your shelters, Sayyid Nasrallah. UN saw drones before Israeli airstrike on Syria. Australia rises terror threat level against coups to high. President Bashar al-Assad stressed that the Syrian state is committed to reaching solution to the crisis through dialogue, the success of which demands serious pressure on the countries involved in backing terrorism. Receiving Inter-Parliamentary Union IPU Secretary General Martin Shongkong, the president made it clear that Syria will further pursue national reconciliation and expand its scope as many local reconciliations have been carried out in various areas nationwide. The success of dialogue, President al-Assad, however, affirmed, demands going ahead with combating terrorism and putting real and serious pressure on the states which are involved in supporting and aiming terrorists. The IPU Secretary General, for his part, voiced the Union's support for Syria in the face of the terrorism inflicted upon it, which Shongkong said has been an international threat as it's no longer limited to Syria and the Middle East region's countries only. Shongkong pointed out that the visit to Syria has been very useful in terms of coming to have a close look at the situation and get familiarized with the reality on the ground, and vowed that he will work through the IPU on clarifying the image of the situation in Syria and supporting any effort that would help in finding any way out of the crisis by the meanings of dialogue. On the ground, units of the Syrian army killed members of Takfir organization in Keen Mountain and Arstan city in the central province of Homs, as they destroyed dens of the so-called ISIS terrorists in the eastern county of the province. The army units killed a number of ISIS terrorists, injured others, and destroyed their vehicles in Jazil Oil and a Shire gas field in the eastern countryside of the province. In Daraa, army units intensified their military operations against terrorism gathering and hideouts in the southern province of Daraa, inflicting heavy losses upon their ranks in personnel and equipment. In Manshiya neighborhood in Daraa al-Balad in the city, the army killed a large number of terrorism, including Nazim al-Muhammad, in the fight among the dead. The army units also destroyed several vehicles equipped with heavy machine guns. Meanwhile, other units, the armed forces, raised two hideouts of terrorist organization in Al-Mzirib town, in addition to destroying weapons and ammunition cache and their vehicles equipped with heavy machine guns. Hezbollah Secretary General Sayyid Nasrallah asserted that the Islamic resistance in Lebanon is ready to accomplish the greatest victory in the case of any Zionist aggression in Lebanon. Another Israeli assassination operation against Hezbollah, and this time the greatest, was a group of Hezbollah members, including the son of former top military commander Imad Mughni, along with a senior field commander in the town of Konaitara in the Golan Heights. A commander of Iran's Islamic Revolution Guards groups was also among the dead. The IGRC has confirmed that the Brigadier General Muhammad Ali al-Lahdadi was killed in the Israeli attack, and the timing comes as both Hezbollah leadership and senior Israeli officials have highlighted the movement's enhanced military capabilities. In the recent interview, Sayyid Nasrallah stated that Hezbollah could launch an extended offensive against Israel in a possible future conflict and reach areas as far as Al-Jalil. Israeli-based assassination also appear to have come in retaliation of Hezbollah's significant military achievements. The UN says its peacekeeping forces deployed to the occupied Golan Heights has seen drones coming from Israel before a recent airstrike by Tel Aviv that killed several Hezbollah members in Syria. An Israeli helicopter carried out the strike, but the UN account raised the possibility that drones may have been used. US spokesman Farah Haq said the world's body peacekeepers observed two unmanned aerial vehicles flying from the Israeli-occupied part of the Golan Heights and crossing into Syria. Haq described the incident as a violation of the 1974 agreement on disengagement between the Israeli regime and Syria. An Israeli military helicopter fired two missiles into Amal Farm in the strategic southern city of Konaitara, also to the line separating the Syrian part of the Golan Heights from the Israeli-occupied sector. And finally, with the Australian view, Australia raised the terrorism threat level against its police officers to high, Reuters reported, citing the country's law enforcement. The new threat level specially has taken into account instances of attacks on police internationally on a number of occasions in the past few months. Queensland State Police Commissioner Ian Stewart said no specific imminent threats have been specially named or related police statement. The threat level against the general public had already been raised to high in September. Fears of impending attacks highlighted in December after a gunman with radical Islamist views took hostages in a central Sydney safe. The 16-hour siege ended with the death of 2 hostages and the gunman. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nibal Hneidi. Good night.